creatures here in this part of Utopia seem much like those I knew before. There are a new variety of them, but they are no less dangerous. Many things can be gained from these new breeds of monster, the kinds of things that a huntsman would make great trophies out of to cover his walls. I spent most of the day creating a trap for monsters to fall into, a way to almost farm them and have a nice, easy way to gain a supply of rare and collectible decorations. Due to all the dangers in the lands around my home, I carefully crafted a new sword. This sword was not like any sword I had made before. Now then, welcome back to another episode of Utopia³, the Age of Adventure, a Druid's Tale. And today, I've got quite a bit planned on doing. Starting with making myself a new sword from Tinker's. This sword that I got given by Lord Raccoon is pretty awesome. It's a +11 attack, beheading and all that. It's heroic as well. The skill level on it is heroic. It's huge, it's massive, but it's really slow. And yeah, I'm not too keen on it, so I want my own sword. So what I'm going to do is take some of this Artaris for the sword blade and a cobalt for the handle and the tool rod. The tool rod costs half and the handguard costs half, so I'm putting one in, and the sword blade itself costs one. So it's a very cheap sword really, but it should be pretty excellent because cobalt is very tough and strong and durable, and Atlas is pretty high damage, about the highest that I've got at the moment available to me. Another thing I'm going to do while that's smelting down is take you over to the library. I've been a bit busy putting a bit of wood in the library. Books and wood and things, yep. Got a load of bookcases around an enchanting table, and I wanted to enchant my Damascus steel helmet. Well, I can enchant anything, really, but I may as well put 30 levels on the helmet first and work my way down. So, we're going to see what we get. Protection 4, Aqua Affinity, that's pretty good for a helmet, that's pretty good, I like that. Okay, so we've got some protection on there now. What I've done down here is I've got just a basic enchanting setup, but with a load of DecoCraft bookcases and some compact drawers, just thrown in to add a little bit of interest and also give me a lot of storage space, so I can store a load of enchanted books and things like that I may find or pick up along the way. And a large locker over this side and a little storage crate hidden away up there, just with nothing in at the minute, but as I use things in the enchanting table and as I need things to enchant or repairs or whatever, I can store them away in there. And I moved my Thaumcraft. Well, I didn't move my Thaumcraft. I made a new Thaumcraft study corner, including little toy boat from DecoCraft. The DecoCraft stuff is pretty cool. I like the DecoCraft stuff. I haven't got anything over this side. I've got a little plate of cookies and milk on my desk so that I can do my research sitting on this beautiful table and have access to all of the things that I need in all the places around me. It's a nice, neat, compact area so I can sit down and while I'm doing all my work. These tool racks do actually have the wands sitting on them. I can't pick it up, but there you go. But they sit fairly nicely when you hit the bottom slots, when they should be going in the bottom slots. When you hit them in the top slots, they stick out slightly, but in the bottom slots, they look like they're sitting nicely as a little wand rack for the arcane work table, which has just got another basic iron wand in. I haven't really done much with it yet. I've also got a spruce desk with the Thaumonomicon in it, so I can do quick research and checking things from my table like that. Got a bit of storage for odds and ends. A bit of storage up there is going to have all the different types of mana related things. And these little crystals take like 6 crystals, put them together and you make a little thing like that. Just an interesting feature. Going to put some mage armor on a stand here. The sort of armor that helps you with research or viz costs or something like that maybe. Yeah, I got a little setup in there. One of the cool things there though is the DecoCraft, just adding a touch of detail to the whole place. Oh, I've gone down the wrong stairs. It's because they're in the same sort of direction. There we go, look. I've also added in here a little tea set to put on the table in the corner there, so that while I'm making my tools and repairing my tools, I can have a little cup of tea, and a broom for sweeping up all of the things around the place. It's just a little bit of extra touch that the DecoCraft gives us, a little bit extra in your base. So little corners at the minute are starting to develop out nicely. There's even this dummy thing, a training dummy from DecoCraft. Unfortunately, one hit and it falls over, so it's not exactly like usable, but it does look pretty cool anyway, just having a little crash dummy there. And these DecoCraft clay are literally the only things you need to collect in order to do it, and they come from mob drops. Hence the sword a little bit, I suppose, but also I'm going to do something else this episode to get tons and tons of this stuff so I can decorate, well, the whole house with bits and pieces like this whenever I feel like it. I don't really fancy going out at night and just chopping things apart and trying to find ways to kill things. No, I'm not really keen on that. So look, we've got cobalt and a talus. Okay, so first up, the sword blade. Let's get that on the go. Boink, sword blade. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Thank you. Okay, we'll take that back, and then we'll have the hand guard, and that should be set up automatically with cobalt. Yeah, because I've only got one cobalt, so I used half a cobalt on making the hand guard, and I was going to use something different for the tool rod, but because I'm left with half a cobalt, I thought I may as well make them both out of cobalt. There we go. And then I can put my casts away, and I should have everything I need now to make the longsword. I'm going for a longsword. Gets me into combat with a bit of a lunge, which I felt might be fun. So let's change this name to... Oh, that's not changing names, is it? It's got the cursor there, but it's not actually selected when you first jump onto the table. Bit annoying. Nemsuns Hacker. Nemsuns Hacker. I am Hacker. There we go. So this is going to be reinforced 2, giving me massive durability. Effective durability 2,940. And attack damage 5 hearts, which is basically plus 9 attack damage. It's pretty big and epic all on its own like that. Of course, I don't have any modifiers on it until I've used it 400 times first. But that's okay. That means that Lord Raccoon's one can get put to one side. This is a lot faster. I can do more damage at a quick pace, which is kind of what I wanted. So I'm going to put Raccoon's back in there, so it's there. That's a massive sword, though. That's an amazing sword. But I just don't like wielding it, really. Another thing I want to upgrade is Nem's pick at some point as well, because I have a feeling that the look, haste, and auto smelt are kind of working against each other. Even though they're supposed to work together, like look and auto smelt gives me fortune on ingots of a kind, it doesn't really look good in game. It looks a bit iffy in game because the haste of it means that the blocks sort of disappear and then they smelt and reappear, and it's kind of not quite smooth. It doesn't feel like it's breaking the blocks smoothly. So I'm looking into fixing that with some updates from Tinker's Construct and all that. But for now, yeah, for now I'll use it still, and I've got to use it for today's project because there's still stuff that needs doing. So I will. Okay. So today's project, I'm going to make a mob farm. I'm going to make a mob farm so that I can gain these clays and other mob drops fairly swiftly. I'm sort of on a mob farm kick at the minute, a bit of a binge of mob farm making. You'll see it in many of my series across the channel. But in this case, I have some mods to help me along and mods to use to make a difference to it all. Now, having a quick fly around to find the best location. Well, as this is my storehouse, I'm going to be doing a lot of work in this house, and I'm going to be here a lot. Having my Botania close by at the minute, over there, generating flowers while I'm over here, it would strike me as having a mob farm over on this section would be a good idea, because then it's in range of me and the mobs can drop down to the basement level and I can go and pick up all the bits and pieces. Instead of having it way over there and having to go and stand AFK, I can have mob drops coming down to me all the time. So I'm going to do a little prep work on this mountainside here. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I want to leave the top open. I don't want a great big square box open, so I may just end up going in and say, right, that's like the top, that's the top block there. Then there would be 2 layers for them to spawn, a layer for them to spawn on, and then channels for water. So 2 high water channels, yep, spawning on the top there, then they would fall off the spawning platform into water channels. Water channels will carry them down into a great big diggy hole all the way down, so they'll just fall straight down to their dooms, and if they don't die then I'll kill them, and so on. That's generally the plan, something around about like that. I just need to hollow that out a bit and make some water channels and all that, and I'll be back to show you progress in a bit. Alright, so I made a start. I've started laying it out like I would any normal vanilla mob farm, with platforms for spawning on and trenches for water streams, and then use the water streams to push them around to where I want them to be. And then I had a boss bar appear at the top of my screen, and up here had spawned a big slime, like a king slime, a big slime. And that big slime gave me a load of good stuff. So I thought I would, well, that made me think about the water that spawns these slimes. And the king slimes, they produce quite a bit of cool stuff, including potentially yellow hearts. Now, this water is pick-upable. I can pick up this water. Give me all the XP on this sword. Give me, thank you. And pick up all this crafting clay as well. So I figured that I would use that and maybe make a bit of a slime farm out of it as well. Adapt this design that I've got going on in here to be able to spawn slimes and let the slimes come down as well. Now, slimes are difficult-ish to manage in water streams, but not impossible. And the main thing is to make the trenches 3 wide for the big slimes. So I'm now reconsidering my layout, and I've got to plan it out a bit more. Normally I would have, this would be 1 quarter, this would be the other quarter, the streams would all end up in the middle here, and this bit down here would go all the way down and drop them straight down in the middle here. Just keep going down and drop them straight down. That's where it would normally be for me, right? But with 3 wide water streams, it's going to be difficult to manipulate the water in quite the same way. And with it being that slime water, so that I spawn slimes in here, that's going to be pretty difficult as well. I wanted to sort of drop them down here now, so that I just walk out the house, come around the back, and go into a mob farm collection area down there. Because they'll drop down and I'll kill them. But now I'm thinking making the water streams 3 wide so they spawn the big guys and all that kind of stuff. I'm wondering whether to make the platform smaller or make the overall thing bigger. I mean, I'm just poking out of the side here, just getting to the edge here where you can see the grass, and I've already started by bringing it out of the wall here further, so that I can do a little bit of a feature thing here and all the way across where it goes. But now I've got to come up with some new ideas, some new things, some new ideas. So yeah, I'm going to cut again and have a good think about it. Alrighty, I've been AFKing a little bit, and I've decided to set up this as a little AFK room because it's so close to the mob farm and as close as I can get to the Botania farm, that while I'm AFKing doing stuff like centrifuging rotten flesh into leather and cooking all sorts of things, I can stand in safety in this room, so I can just block it all off. Even if something manages to spawn in my house somewhere, I've got a safe room there to cook in. I'll tart the place up and make it look a little bit better as it gets more uses and things, but that's it for now. Let's go and show you what we're doing. It's night. Let's sleep first. And it's a beautiful sunny morning, and everything's drying out. Lovely. Okay, so down outside, let's have a quick check on the farms, see what we've got so far. I really do like this wasp form, even though I can't get into hard to reach places. Hey, fall down, why don't you? There you go. Up, 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 up and away. I've done the mob farm. We'll have a good look at that in a minute. Over here, the flowers. We've got a redstone signal of 1. Am I looking at it funny because I'm in wasp form? Yes, I am. Power 1, so that's a while before that triggers the drum again, which means that the power just fills up and fills up, so that's still working. How far has it got along so far? Well, I've been picking up some scrap from dead things that probably burnt up in the morning sun. Oh, there was a boom. There was a boom right there. And I missed it. Okay, fine. Well, there we go. That proves it's working. And there's quite a lot of flowers there. Quite a lot of flowers. That's a passive farm. I don't need to do anything to it. It doesn't do lots and lots of active movements and things. It just processes nicely. I will find a better place for it eventually, though. But for now, that's doing me a ton of good getting all this stuff. I've been looking at iron spikes, as you can see from my NEI. That's the next thing that I'm going to make and sort out for the mob farm over here. Now, the mob farm, I've left this little bit open so I can access it. Looks like it's working. There's lots of mobs falling in. All they do is they spawn on the platforms like they are there. I don't know if you can see this. I'll put a torch on. They spawn in and then they fall down. They fall off the platforms when they start getting a move on. Like, as soon as you get close enough, they'll start moving around and they'll fall into the water. And then they will get dragged around all of these. I've made this sort of mob farm many times before, so it's a fairly simple design. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on it again someday, but I've already done a tutorial on the channel once before doing it. So that's that, right? And then down the bottom here, where they all land, I've got a little setup, which basically, they just fall all the way down. They literally, it's all about them just falling down. Let's get these. That's it. They just literally fall from up there, and as they land, they die. And then the drop's left on the floor, and then the hopper hock over here picks it up, puts it in the chest. So we've got a fair bit. It's not been a lot. That's mine, thank you. We've got a fair bit, not a lot. Let's put that in to join it. Oh, we've got a witch's hand as well. That's cool. Get the witch's hand sorted. Plenty of this crafting dye, though. The whole farm really is based on making this crafting dye. That's what I'm after. I don't need to get the experience. I don't need an experienced farm or anything. One thing I have noticed, however, is angry zombies that fall still survive. And witches that fall don't always die first hit. Because they sometimes get a heal on before. How come I got in here but I can't get back out again? Sure, I just flew straight in here, didn't I? Yes, I did. Lie to me, computer. I just walked straight through this area, just like that. Yeah. So, we've got an area that I want to... Oh, that's the wrong button. We've got some areas that I want to adapt and make good. But first off, let's have a quick look at the top here. There's a little area here, which I've designated, which goes directly off the top of the mob farm. So I'll open this out quickly, so we can have a look. And I still haven't sorted out the slime spawning, right, from those slime islands. So there's some stuff going on here that I've set up. Basically some signposts, just here, that will just hold the liquid from up there on a platform here. So slimes will spawn and then sink down and fall straight down to their death. Hopefully. Hopefully. There's a couple of things we need to finish off and then I can make it look pretty. This back end looks a bit ugly. The little overhang here looks a bit ugly. So I'm going to have to tidy that up. And on the front side it looks a bit ugly as well. But that's okay. I knew that was going to happen because the size of the mountain wasn't big enough. But I can adapt. I can put some sort of structure around it and make it look cool another day. First, I want to get the function right. Function before whatever the other thing that I should say is. Function before prettiness. Or something like that. Yeah. I think it's practical before I make it look pretty. In other cases, on other builds, I sometimes make the build pretty and then give it a practical use. Like this house. Instead of making it practical and then building a house around it, I've built the house and then I put things in it. Practical spaces in it. Where we got... I think I'd really only just need iron. That's King's Lane Battlestone. Yep, that's one of the things that we're trying to collect here. Let's get a couple of stacks of iron, because iron doesn't seem to be too hard to come by. So I get plenty of that. Let's make ourselves some of these. So these are iron swords, iron and iron blocks, and I get 4 for that. That's pretty good. That's not a bad little recipe, that isn't. So let's get some sticks. In fact, I think I could probably use bamboo. Bamboo for sticks. That'll work. I've got to use it up for something, haven't I? So let's make 6 swords. So I can have 2 sets of these iron spikes. I've got a 4. Actually, I'm going to need another set on top of that, aren't I? 9. Let's make 12. Let's make 12 iron swords. Let's make 12 iron swords. There we go. That'll do us. Oh, time to strike achievement. Awesome. Okay. 4 of those. And then we've got this recipe, which is... Boom. No. Okay. Iron sword there. Iron sword there. Iron sword there. Block of iron there. And iron there, there, and there. Yes. Okay. That should do it. Let's take that one. Got to move all of these swords around. It won't auto pick it up. Oh well. Could be worse, I suppose. Could be worse. That one. And then I've got enough for one more, which is cool. There we go. 16 iron spikes. So that's a good start. That's what we need. Now, if I turn this upside down and get some buckets, I think I probably want one of these tanks as well. Do I have a spare? Seared glass fills up with fluid. Yes. Okay. And I've got 2 or 3 buckets already. I've got 3 buckets already that I've done previously. So that's cool. And I may as well hand in this quest while I've got it in my inventory. Open it. Oh, it's the merchant's one, isn't it? Open. It's the Vosgard. Blood before gold. Killed the trio of witches. Raven's hand. Hand in the witch's hand. Yep. And then I get the Book of the Vosgard. +1 to the bank and +5 to the Adventurers Guild. Claim reward. Awesome. And that's the Vosgard opened up. And next, when I've made some more quests, which is the next stage for me in the development of the pack, is making more quests. I'll have quests for the Merchants of Brektor and quests for the Merchants of Vosgard. The Vosgard just gives us 4 pages of bio for the Vosgard region. You should have a look at that at some point when you've completed that quest. I'll keep adding stuff like that into the quest book all the time. Just not when I'm doing projects on the server or recording or something. Right, let's get up there. I think I should be able to pick up this slime and put it into the tank. Easy enough, I should think. Let's see if there's anything up there to kill on the way. My sword's nearly at the point where I can finish them off and kill them all. Kill anything that moves. Okay, we're good there. Let's put a tank down here. Yeah. And get the bucket. Right, let's clean this up. These don't disappear. No. In there? No, it's not going to work. Doesn't go in there. Dang it. Okay, so I guess I'll just have to have the liquid as it comes then. And leave that. Yeah, looking all messy and stuff. That's not going to work either, is it? It seems to need to be updated after a while. Oh man, they're all spawning out of it. That's going to be a big spawn fest down here now, isn't it? Oh wow, they're spawning at like halfway points, so it doesn't need to be a full block of water. It can just be a flow of water and they'll spawn. Well, that's good to know. That means I don't have to drag every last drop of it down here to make this work. Let's see. I've got, well, I've got 4 buckets. 1, 2, 3, 4 buckets. Let's do it as a 4x4 then. Let's go 1 there. 1 there. Let's just do corners, actually. Let's put it in the corners. That way we'll have all 4 corners done. And it'll all flow into the middle as well, so things will flow down into there. Is that spider still jumping up? And hopefully we'll see some spawns in this that'll then make them fall straight down. Hopefully. As far as I know, slimes sink, so that should work that they sink. Should work that they sink. Yep. Time to strike, yeah? Yes, that's right. Time to strike. So, down here, we need to put the iron spikes on the floor. And so long as nothing falls on my head, it should be okay. Let's put iron spikes down like this. We'll get rid of the lighting for now. I don't think anything will be able to spawn in here. That's the thing I had before, was stuff was just spawning down in the hole and just sort of sitting there on the iron spikes. Need to change to bat form so that I can get in. Oh, there we go. And oh, creeper down. Whee! You were going to die anyway. He was about to explode as well, though. And I should be able to lock this down a little bit better now, shouldn't I? Should be able to close it up a bit more. Let's put a couple of bits of dirt in. Just leave myself a little bat hole, just so I can get in as a bat and have a look around. Make sure things are spawning and things are working. The light source from above is going to make an issue, so I'm going to have to build something over the top of that. That's something that I can do really quickly, though. I'm actually liking keeping the top off that so I can get in and out when I'm flying. It's actually quite a useful thing to have. Boom! What have I got? Let's see. Should we build it out of stone bricks? And do I have much cobble? I got some dirt there. That's good. I'll use some dirt up. Did I have dirt in there? No. Let's go and grab some more quickly from my storage. I've got quite a bit now. Let's put some dirt over the top of it. I'll probably need a bit more than that because that's always the case when you're like that. Oh, get down. Get back out. We're gonna have the stone like this. We're gonna have a bit of this and that. And you think you're hard enough, but you're not. Give me another kill on the sword. Come on. I could do with a modifier to start putting. Oh, I got Monster Hunter because I unlocked it time to strike by making an iron sword. Okay. Yeah, something around this. Let's just block it off with dirt for now, and I'll come back and make it all fancy later. But I'll just basically put a little roof on it like this, and make sure that things can still wander in if they feel like wandering into it. I don't know. Maybe I'll put some trapdoors or something on there. I don't know yet. We'll do it like that. I could blend it all in and make a little building on the top as well, maybe in the future. If I get some ability to bring a spawner in, I could put spawners in there so that things drop straight down and die. That would also work. But for now, that's going to give me a lot of what I need. And other things as well. Other things that will be interesting. Got my torches, thank you. Give them back. Give me that stone back, thank you. But the main ingredients from this episode are getting these crafting clays and the like. And all we have to do now is wait for them to spawn. One thing about it is that in daylight hours, they're likely to spawn in there because that's one of the dark spots in the area. But there could be caves and all sorts around me that will causing them to spawn. And all the darker areas all the way around there, there'll be... Hi, Enderman. Did I look at you? All the darker areas will have them spawning as well, like they're spawning on top of there because I haven't lit it up instead of spawning inside the spawning chamber. They're all spawned around here as well. At the moment, Cordante's on the server, so he's going to have mobs spawning in caves underneath him. So it's not going to be totally efficient straight away, but at least we have a mob farm, and while I'm working around here, it will naturally just gather me resources. Without having to go too overboard, to get hundreds and hundreds of resources per hour and all that kind of stuff. It's just simple enough. It's just simple enough to work. And then we can make some more little cool things from DecoCraft like this, and the little tea set, and we can decorate the house. Oh, get down. Not only with the DecoCraft, but also with BiblioCraft, and with other bits and pieces like all this sort of stuff, storage and desks and armor stands and BiblioCraft lighting and all that to decorate the house. We've also got a block of grass appeared in my bedroom. Thank you very much, Mr. Endyman. We've got all sorts of things that we can put in and have lots and lots of fun creating a beautiful house with some practicalities. Kitchens and bedrooms and lounges and bathrooms and libraries and all sorts of stuff. But mainly the practicality is to have a place to store all my gear. We just want to make it look cool. I just want to make it look fun and interesting at the same time. But that's all we got time for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching another episode of Twitch broadcast available. No? There we go. Thank you very much for watching another episode of Utopia³ on the Age of Adventure. And this druid is a bat. Thank you. See you next time. Goodbye.